The City of Neenah is pleased to provide video recordings of City Council meetings. Neenah residents can get information about City Council meetings, City Committee meetings, meeting agendas, and other documents from the City website, www.neenahgov.org. Neenah residents can express their opinions about city issues by contacting the mayor's office, contacting their city alderman, or completing the electronic feedback form on the city website. All public portions of the meetings are recorded in entirety and are not edited.
Good evening. I'd like to call to order the City of Neenah Common Council meeting for Wednesday, July 16th, 2025. The clerk will call the roll. Please also indicate your presence on your roll call device.
Alderman Bruno is appearing virtually with the assistance of Director Schrader, over there. Alderman Erickson?
Here.
Linsky?
Here.
Ellis?
Here.
Steiner?
Here.
Paulnow?
Here.
Lendrum?
Here.
Weber?
Here.
And Council President Borchert is excused.
Thank you. Alderman Erickson, could you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There are no appointments this evening. The next item, is there any objection to unanimous consent of the approval of the council minutes and proceedings of July 2nd? Any objection? Seeing none, those minutes and proceedings are approved. The next item on the agenda is the public forum. This is the opportunity for anyone from the public to come and speak before council. Please give your name and residential address, and you are allowed 5 minutes to speak on any topic.
Scott Becker, 1061 Green Acres Lane. First, I'd like to talk about Courtside Field, which is the new development in the Shattuck neighborhood, which is a good development. It brings single-family homes. I know at the committee hearing that I was at of the Public Safety Committee that they talked about trails. So there are many trails in Neenah. I believe this is an opportunity for the city to get some money. Other communities have done sponsorship of their trail system and individual trails and given them a unique names and use them as tourism opportunities. So I would encourage the city to look at naming each one of the trails with a unique name. Like say, for example, in Courtside Field, there's gonna be a trail like the Shattuck Family Trail or the Arthur Shattuck or something basically, something to that effect. And then also look at basically setting up some signage. Right now, there's no signage or any way that I can tell if it's a trail or if it's a sidewalk. And then basically, there should be probably like a map, something basically, QR codes. So ultimately, tourism people, residentials, neighborhoods can see the trails, use the trails, create more of a community to ultimately find out your neighbor, visit your neighbor, and do all things that other communities like in southeast Wisconsin have successfully done. And yeah, like one of the trails is the Walnut Street Trail, which is right outside City Hall here. There's no signage. It goes directly from our downtown hotel to the Dairy Queen. So how don't we want to have people who are staying in our hotels go to the Dairy Queen, go to Walgreens, maybe basically use it for other retail, other different opportunities there. So want to encourage the city council to look at that and basically go from there. So thank you much.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak during the public forum? Seeing no one, I will close the public forum. Is there anyone on council who would like to comment on anything stated during the public forum? Seeing no one, moving on to item 6. Is there any objection to unanimous consent for the approval of the final plat for the Courtside Fields subdivision? Any objection to unanimous consent? Alderman Paul.
Just a question on the process. I don't remember us ever doing a unanimous consent. I'm fully in support of this, but would this usually typically be read out at a plan commission report and or discussed as far as the benefits? Because I think, granted, it's not a big crowd, but the more we talk about this as a positive, I think the better. So
If
that's
you would like to pull it off the consent agenda,
yes, I
you
would. Thank you.
are free to do so. Making a motion to do that?
Yes, I would so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Let's just do vote on that. All those in favor of removing this item from the consent agenda, say aye.
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 Are there any opposed? That passes. So approval of the final plat for the Courtside Field subdivision, I would like to then turn it over to Director Nyford.
Absolutely. Council did see a preliminary plat back in May. This is for a 31-lot development on the former Shattuck School site. It is the athletic fields that were to the south of school between Reed and Elm, and then Lawton splits it in the middle. They are looking at constructing all 31 sites on both sides of Lawton. So the developer would be required to take down the bleachers and remove the track before that side would be developed. But we have a few other agenda items tonight related to this, but this is the final step for these lots to be created. The development agreement, of course, is part of it too, and then working through our Public Works Department to ensure that all of the necessary documentation and escrows deposit is in, and they are, following the requirements we have in our municipal code. So these are privately owned, so we cannot dictate price or, the size. They have to just follow city code as far as what our housing standards are. But we're very excited to have additional lots in our central city in a nice established neighborhood.
So I will ask for a motion to approve the final plat for the Courtside Field subdivision.
I would so move.
Second.
There is a motion by Alderman Ellis and seconded by Alderman Paulno.
I just have a quick question.
Hang on one sec. Alderman Erickson.
Is this a time to ask the developer a question, or would it be under Public Works?
Is it relative to the formation of the plat itself or the agreement, the fee agreement?
It is relative to the plat itself.
Then now would be.
Okay, thank you. There was a question that came up at the library board meeting today when I said that we would be discussing it today. And the question came up with, is there a minimum size square footage for houses on those lots? Or is there some type of standard for that?
Could you come forward to the microphone? Thank you.
Can you hear me? There isn't a minimum size right now, but we're looking to, in part of the, not the development agreement, but what's the word I'm looking for? As part of the requirements to be a minimum of 1,400 square feet.
Okay, so that would be the minimum.
Yeah, we're keeping it pretty flexible, but we want to make sure that those houses there, whoever is building those houses is going to be similar to the neighborhood, and it'll go in that. So there'll probably be a minimum and a maximum. We'll set that. So I'm working with a few different builders and coming up with those requirements.
Okay, that answers my question. Thank you.
Alderman Paulno.
Thank you. A couple things. I just want to thank the developer, Umar Sheikh, in regard to going through this trials and tribulation that seems like it's taken us quite a while to get to this point, and I think it's pretty exciting. I just did basic math, and it's probably over $10 million of new tax base potentially once these houses are all built. The one question I would have then is just for Director Kaiser and/or process question. Once this is approved, does that mean the transfer happens for the land that we need for the regional stormwater pond? And if so, what is the timeline for that? Do you have to wait on this construction of the homes, or what was your thoughts?
As was mentioned, the pond is under design by Dable Engineering. As far as a formal transfer of the property, that's noted in the development agreement along with being noted on the plat. I defer to Attorney Rashid as to when that formally happens, but certainly we won't be on that property until that transfer takes place, which I think could be relatively soon.
Now that the lot has been created, after today, if everything is approved, like Director Kaiser said, then we can move forward.
So the future home constructions, when they happen, will that be a hindrance to any of this, or will we have to work in conjunction? How will that work?
I think both things will be going on at the same time.
Okay.
As far as pond construction and the start of home construction.
So we'll have to have a coordination between the two parties. Okay, thank you.
Are there any additional questions? Seeing none, please cast your vote on your voting device for the approval of the final plat for the Courtside Field subdivision. That motion passes 8-0. The next item on the agenda, the regular Public Services and Safety Committee meeting was canceled, so there is no report. The regular Finance and Personnel Committee meeting of July 7th, Chairman Steiner.
Thank you, Mayor. Minutes can be found on the city website. Committee recommends council approve the tax incremental district number 13 development agreement with Gunderson Inc. to assist with the construction of a new industrial laundry facility at 1712 Dixie Road, and I so move.
There's a motion by Alderman Steiner, seconded by Alderman Ellis. Discussion on this item. Seeing none, please cast your vote on your voting device. That motion passes 8-0.
Item number 2, committee recommends council approve the Courtside Field Subdivision Development Fee Agreement. Action to be taken, Board of Public Works. Item number 3, committee recommends council approve the Maintenance Assessment Services Contract 2026 through 2030 with Associated Appraisal Consultants, Inc. for an average annual fee of $42,000, and I so move.
There's a motion by Alderman Steiner, seconded by Alderman Paulno. Discussion on this item? Seeing none, please cast your vote on your voting device. That motion passes 8-0.
And that concludes my report.
Thank you for your report. The next item is the Neenah Menasha Fire Rescue Joint Finance and Personnel Committee meeting of June 24th. Alderman Paulno.
Thank you, Mayor. Reporting out of the Neenah Menasha Fire Joint Finance and Personnel Committee meeting of June 24th. Minutes can be found on the city website. Item number 1. Committee recommends the cities of Neenah and Menasha Common Councils authorize Neenah Menasha Fire Rescue to retain the insurance settlement from the 2023 storm in the amount of $59,966.42 and to use those funds to construct fire investigation props in the existing training tower. And I would so move.
There's a motion by Alderman Paulno,
Second.
seconded by Alderman Erickson. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, please cast your vote on your voting device. That motion passes 8-0. The next item on the agenda, regular Plan Commission meeting of July 8th. There's no action. Do you have anything to report, Alderman Steiner?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Just really quick, the latest discussion we've been having in the Plan Commission in regards to the housing study is evaluating options for potential accessory dwelling units as being allowed in Neenah. There's a lot of different forms, and just for information, that's basically where you kind of convert like a garage or a separate structure outside the home. A lot of times people might talk about like a mother-in-law suite type of structure. And it's really just an opportunity, again, to look at making housing more available, more flexible, and in the long run, more affordable for the citizens of Neenah. So I think the next step is Deputy Director Schmidt was looking at different wording options in terms of updating our municipal code for presentation at future Plan Commission meetings. So, thank you.
Thank you for your report. The Board of Public Works meeting of July 16th, Vice Chairman Lundrum.
Thank you, Mayor. As you said, I am reporting out from the Board of Public Works meeting of July 16th, 2025, and the minutes can be found on the city website. We have 2 items tonight. Item number 1, consideration of board recommendation to approve the Courtside Fields subdivision development and fee agreement. And I would so move.
There's a motion by Alderman Lundrum, seconded by Alderman Ellis. Discussion on this item. Seeing none, please cast your vote on your voting device. That motion passes 8-0.
And last item, and number 2, consideration of board recommendation to approve final pay request to Kellnan and Goss Incorporated and contract 11-24 Douglas Park Stormwater Pond in the amount of $48,341.87. And I would so move.
There's a motion by Alderman Lundrum, seconded by Alderman Weber. Is there any discussion on this item? Seeing none, please cast your vote on your voting device. That motion passes 8-0.
Thank you, and that's the end of my report.
Thank you for your report. There was no bid board meeting, so no report from Alderman Ellis. The library board meeting of July 16th, Alderman Erickson.
Thank you, Mayor. The Neenah Public Library Board of Trustees met today at 4 o'clock. There is good news to report. There has been an increase of 16% over last year of an increase in programs given. And the library is continuing to offer free lunches right now, and that has been popular Monday through Friday. There are a number of great programs coming up in the month of August. One of them that has been very popular is the Cookbook Book Club, and the topic will be salads for the month of August. And if you decide to visit that book club, you can bring your recipe, share a dish, and talk about cooking. Otherwise, there are a number of other programs, and they are all listed on the Neenah Public Library website. I encourage you to check it out, and always remember to check out some books. Thank you.
Thank you for your report. Report from the Neenah Arts Council meeting of July 9th. Alderman Erickson.
Thank you, Mayor. The Neenah Arts Council met on July 9th, and we have had a busy past couple of weeks. We were at the Neenah Farmers Market for the Kids' Day. We had a lot of kids doing a lot of projects, and we also were part of Community Fest. We have plans to be at Neenah Night Out in August, and we have a good group of active members that are always willing to help out. And that concludes my report.
Thank you for your report. Does someone have a date for the National Night Out event? Sorry to put you on the spot.
It's a Tuesday. I think it's the first Tuesday in August.
I think you're right.
Okay.
Tuesday, August 5th.
Yes, that sounds exactly right.
Okay, great.
And that will be in Memorial Park. And there is a movie at the end of the night for families. But there are a variety of activities throughout the night. There's food trucks, food, crafts. The police and fire department have their trucks and information there, so it's a great night. That's just perfect for their
On cue.
so, yeah. So I encourage families, this is a very popular night for families, and it's a well-thought-of night, so thank you.
Thank you. The Landmarks Commission meeting was canceled, so there's no report from them. The next is, are there any petitions?
No petitions.
Are there any council directives? Alderman Palmo.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to put the following council directive. Before we proceed with the Station 31 firehouse remodel, I'd like the council to hold a committee of the whole to discuss the pros and cons of new construction versus remodeling existing facility. And I would offer pros and cons questions in the next meeting once this is seconded and we can discuss it.
Second?
Motion and a second to request a committee of the whole for
Correct.
discussing pros and cons.
The pros and cons of new construction versus remodeling existing facilities. We have two studies that I'm familiar with, one in 2020 and one in 2023. They're pretty wide ranging on recommendations. The second study that was just, thanks for the mayor sending that to me. It was before I was on council. It has a wide, actually very limited scope of choices for the council. Existing a 14,000 foot, or about 14 square foot existing facility, or versus new, the only option was 17,000 square foot. That was the only option that was even offered or presented, whereas Station 36 in Menasha, when they redid theirs or built a new one, it was little under 8,000 square foot. So I think the discussions on such a big project should be revisited, and maybe a lot of people might think this is too far down the road, but I don't look at this sunk cost fallacy. I think we really got to be long-term thinkers in regard to what's the best for the city of Neenah and the growth patterns for the next 20 years. So I'll have more information. I'll share that with the council on what I think should be discussed.
Okay, and typically the process for council directive is there's a motion, and if there's a second, then the vote to whether we are carrying forward with that council directive takes place at the next council meeting. So we will have that vote on August 6th, and so at this point, I won't, call on you to have any input on this, so we will discuss on August 6th and take a vote. Paulno?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Also, I think we need to be long-range planners, and I think it's whatever do. My motion would be direct Mayor Lang to work with Mayor Hammond and Chief Tisch to hire an outside firm within the next 90 days to perform a Neenah Menasha Fire Rescue comprehensive analysis. I believe it's long overdue. It's been 2001 when we were merged, and I think there's a lot of best practices that we probably could be utilizing that we're not. Case in point, Station 31. Is that our long-term goal, strategy? I think it's really prudent for this council to have a 50,000-foot view. That's kind of the job of the alderman, so that's why I brought this forward, and I can give more details in the 2-week period if I was so fortunate to get a second.
It's fine, made your motion on that. We'll wait for a second,
Yes.
and then I'll make a comment if there is a second.
Second.
I would like to comment that is already well underway. We have one quote so far. I've reached out to another firm as well, but we've been working on this for a while. So you're trying to get it accomplished within the next 90 days or just undertaken?
Undertaken is my, yes. I mean, 90 days was just a placeholder, and I will share more information in 2 weeks to get more structure. I know there had been discussion of this.
Yes, we've had multiple
But
discussions on this.
I think council should weigh in to be part of this solution, and I think that's the more eyes and the more perspectives, because I trust a lot. I trust everybody on this council to have the best the best path for the city, and I think the more eyes with that mindset in this discussion, the better.
Okay, so that will also be voted on August 6th. Any additional council directives? Is there any unfinished business? Any new business? Seeing none,
Motion to adjourn?
there's a
Second.
motion to adjourn and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, we're adjourned.
The City of Neenah is pleased to provide video recordings of City Council meetings. Neenah residents can get information about City Council meetings, City Committee meetings, meeting agendas, and other documents from the City website, www.neenahgov.org. Neenah residents can express their opinions about city issues by contacting the mayor's office, contacting their city alderman, or completing the electronic feedback form on the city website. All public portions of the meetings are recorded in entirety and are not edited.